answer to me.
It hits again. Kevy, he's done it one more time.
The Chaos Storm! Claire jumps in with the Grand Slam! But in a three-man Moonfall, it's just lights out for Direwolves, just like that.
The showstopper. Look at the backline. It's getting melted.
Doing something right now. Sonic Wave is there. It's getting low and low. Oh! They've stolen it! Mammoth have got the Baron. He's gonna fall on down. It's just too much damage. Rest in peace.
Good afternoon, Oceanic League of Legends fans. We are back with yet another day of the LCO. It's another super week, and I guess it's hump day here. It's not really Wednesday yet, but look, we'll just deal with it. That's what we're going to call it for the moment. It's week 5. It's day 2. We had a big couple of games yesterday, and we've got some more on the menu for today. I'm so keen to see how these ones goes. There's some big banger action for all of you to, eat up. Maybe have at some point. But look, we got a little surprise on the other side of this. So check out what happened yesterday, and we'll jump on into today.
Not gonna connect, but does not matter. Shutdown is found. Fighter with the kill. He's burnt that flash. Now does he compromise? He doesn't have his own yet. He may just sign the process of it. And Panther, angered by the fact that he died, is going to come back and claim blood. Urgot is dead again. He's tumbling in the night. He sidestepped the shotgun. No, he hasn't. He's actually been taken down by it. It is going to be good at finding the kill on towards the vein despite him dying in the end. And there is the cannon to your head. Talk about overkill. That is a very dead Yumi. Get that cat off my screen and give this man a triple. Indomitable will. He's untouchable. Mayfine receives the chrono. Should be ult away, so doesn't actually get proc until Yuri hits him with a high five. Sent down, revived, but dead again. Double kill here for Winter's Graves in the shadows once again. Here comes Jesus with the sweeper, looking for that pillar on towards Graves. Not the target he's after. So he's not going to use it just yet, but now out comes the lightning crash, and this is where the Zeri can burst into life, but not before Taboon hits the flank and just absolutely destroys him again. Nami is gone.
We're going sailing. We're going fishing. Going right out on to catch us up. A beautiful, beautiful dinner. I love fish. 2 other people that probably love fish too. I hope you're not allergic. Let's bring them in because they're going to be my crewmates as we go look for a couple of marlin. You like marlin, Skimmy?
Look, I'm going to really upset people once again. I told them last week I didn't like cheese. I'm actually not a big fish fan, hey. So instead I actually take fish supplements, get my omega-3s that way. And yeah, look, I know people are going to be so upset at me, but sometimes that happens, Mac. Sometimes it does.
Look, not bad. The more the merrier. Jess, my partner, is also allergic to fish, so I can't have it as often as I would like, which is very sad. Now, Rusty, tell me about Menulog mealtime. Are you excited? Where's your jacket, huh?
I was ready to talk about fish, Mac.
Oh, we'll talk about fish to me.
My family goes marlin fishing all the time, actually. They have a couple of boats that go out marlin fishing. It's part of the company that one of them runs. And where I live is also a local fishing town, Mac. So we get fresh deep-sea perch once a week delivered to the door.
Mate.
Which is a good time, except for the fact that you have to eat it like finger food. You go full Viking spec because there's bones everywhere. But otherwise, it's...
I'm coming up. We're going on an adventure because I'm going to come meet your family. It sounds like a good time. But look, we need to jump on into Menulog Meal Time, where we have a quick chat about what's going on in the world of meals and times and Menulog in terms of what you guys in chat have to type. Menupog. Type it now, and then you may very much be the one winner that gets $30. Nice little $30 voucher to spend on dinner tonight, tomorrow, whenever you want. You don't even have to spend it. You can just have it there and just weird flex constantly say, I've got $30 on Menulog to all your friends. Now, before you guys win that, listen to this. So, it is a beautiful, beautiful morning. It's about 13 degrees, still pretty early, hitting that sort of 7 a.m. mark. Rusty's family, they're taking us out on the boat. We're going to go make some sushi. Now, unfortunately, we're on a boat, but you're going to drive in at some point. We want lunch. We want a fresh, fishy sort of dinner. What are we ordering on Menulog?
The one thing I will say, though, when I was living in New Zealand, I went up to Nelson to a fish farm, and we actually caught salmon there. Smoked salmon, for me, I love that actually.
Okay.
I can get away with that. I'm big on flavors, so if you can mask flavors some way, then I'm big on that, right? So give me the sauces, give me the seasoning, give me the spices, give me it all. Salmon will be at the top there for me for sure.
Okay, what about you, Rusty? What are you getting ordered straight to the docks?
I mean, I wasn't thinking of it until Skimmy said it, and then I've never been more aligned in my entire life with another human. Like, smoke it, marinate it, fish,
Yeah.
just straight to the door. If it's been, they do the hard work, they smoke or marinate it. That's the time that they're spending. Just give me that fish, man.
The thing is, I don't like smoked fish. I prefer it raw. So I'll have a little nibble before you guys throw it on the smoker, or before they send it smoked. Now, either way, that is it for Menulog Mealtime today. Hopefully one of you won the $30, and I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Now it's time to have a quick look at the standings, where all the teams currently are after the first day of games in Super Week number 2. Skimmy, you want to run us through here?
Yeah, it's beautiful looking standings because you're just finding ties across that top 4. I think right now, once again, we are really looking at what should be, for the most part, an accurate representation of how teams have been performing. Peace and Chiefs, no surprise there. Top of the table, Chiefs only suffering that defeat to Peace, whereas Peace got the upset up against Kanga. Pentanet as well as Watertight and Third, both coming into a bit of form of their own, but certainly a bit of distance created between them and the top of the table. I think Direwolves right now is a fair representation of them.
Yeah.
In 5th, they've hit a big stride early on, and I'm loving what they're doing. Whereas Mammoth, they've just come out of the storm, much like the Sydney weather here, which is, we've just versed so many big teams. Give us a break. They're going to find that break coming into these next few matches, whereas Kangaroo Sports, they showed a new lease on life. New face in the mid lane, and it looked pretty good. Same could be said for Gravitas. Returning faces also from the start of the split, and they look damn impressive also.
Yeah, impressive enough to put some pressure on the Chiefs yesterday. Hopefully, we see them do that today. Now, let's have a look at what matches we are going to be seeing here on day 2 this week. 6 p.m. to kick us off, we got Pentanet and Direwolves looking to go mono a mono. 7 p.m. game number 2, Gravitas and Mammoth. That'll actually be a banger because both of these can finally start to get some wins on the board. Well, one of them, obviously, they both can't win as much as I'd like that. 8 p.m. Peace and Order. I'm looking at that as probably the game of the day. But again, Kanga up against Chiefs. I want to see an upset. I want to see it happen. And I don't know. Are we going to see something crazy coming out of that draft again? I loved the pike we got to see yesterday, Rusty.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a potential we'll get something crazy. I really liked what we saw from Kanga as well, their opponents for the day. But my eyes continue to gravitate to the second game. Yeah, it wasn't intentional, but we got there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Game 2, I think, is actually, given what we saw yesterday, got a lot of potential to be very exciting. So I'm low-key pumped for that one.
I think all these games today have potential for some upsets. I think maybe, the last one's probably like the least likely of an upset, but on paper, there's chances. There's chances. Depending on who's playing well today, we did hear that, Kanga, they did want to go and do a whole overnighter bloody Attack on Titan watch party or something. I don't know if that ended up happening, but I'm not liking their chances if they did end up committing to that last night. Now,
What I say? It was like, we need to win for this to happen. So they didn't win, so they probably had a good rest. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
I hope so.
Very true. Now, let's have a look at a couple of stats here. We have some LCO streaks. You know how you have like snap streaks? It's like you get dubs in a row. It's like that, right? You get a bunch of dubs here. Yeah, snap streaks, but with wins. You guys all use Snapchat. You're all bloody Zoomers. Now, Peace, 6 in a row so far, and looking pretty damn hot. Chiefs, they have copped an L not too long ago, but of course, look, 5 wins in a row, not too bad, and 2 pretty much for everyone else. So it feels like there's a bit of separation, Rusty, when you really look at these teams just trying to get W's in a row.
Yeah, so the 2 big things here that I think we really want to highlight is, one, there's only 2 teams that actually have win streaks.
Yeah.
Peace and Chiefs just looking a cut above everyone else right now. I think that's fair to say, even not looking perfect themselves, still looking so much better than the composition through the first split of the LCO this year. Everyone else, shaky. Rocky performances. Sometimes they look great, sometimes they don't look so great at all.
Yeah.
And a couple of teams, that's not a surprise. For a couple of teams, that's expected. For teams like Order, who I think should start stronger than perhaps we've seen from them in terms of consistency, then I would say there's a little bit lacking. But, PGG, when are they consistent in playoffs? And Direwolves are a team that we're expecting to see get better as the split progresses. So overall, I just wanted to highlight that streaks are very rare in the LCO. The Peace and Chiefs are doing it correctly.
Yeah, I think, you know, so far so damn good. And when do we get to see that? Is it the last day? Is it day 7 of the round, or is it day 1?
Peace Chiefs?
Peace Chiefs, yeah.
That is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, oh my. Well, one of these teams is going to have that streak broken again, so I guess we'll see if that one happens. But look, they got to get through today, and we got some banger games today. Now, Skimmy, talk to me.
Yes, I'm talking.
Talk to me. Who's going to be losing their streak today?
Tough ask, actually. I think if there's any chance of a streak being lost, it'd probably be Peace. I don't see Chiefs losing it to Kanga unless something absolutely wild happens. Look, strange things have happened. You know, Peace said, look, you know, we tried something against Kanga. It didn't work. Kanga said, cheers for that, big dub. Yeah, I think Peace and Order for sure. I feel like Order have really come into a strength of their own this patch.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're going to give Peace a big run for their money, especially after what we saw happen between Order and Chiefs. Yeah. Streak potential. Streak
potential out the window. Now, we have some potential for some fun right now. I was talking about surprises before we jumped on in to the pre-show. You want to know what it is? It's the LCO Champion Conundrum, brought to you by...
Is today the day luck's with you? Is it now your life could read you? Then you must play the game, cause I have to proclaim life's a game of chance.
Try to figure out exactly what champs they are. Now, of course, I've got the answers this time, so I'm not going to be partaking, but I will be giving you a couple of clues.
How many pixels are we getting here, Mac, to guess with?
I'm not that far ahead. I just know the names of the champs that we're going to be doing. Now, look, let's jump on into it. Let's bring up the first one. I reckon I'm keen to see how zoomed in we are, actually. Oh, wow.
Jesus, there's not a lot to work with.
Yeah, good luck.
Zaya.
No, but do you want to ask some questions? You got a minute?
There's a purpley bit down the bottom right, yeah? And the rest of it's...
It's moving.
Lulu.
Okay,
no.
Wait.
Right. Lulu.
Talia?
I think with Lulu, you're kind of in the right area, you know, of the world.
Okay, Lilia.
Oh, okay.
It's not Lily.
Oh.
I mean...
I'm just stuck on this butterfly, man.
Like...
What's that down on the right?
Is this a base skin?
Corner?
This is a base skin, right?
This is a base skin. What's on the bottom right corner there? What's that?
It looks like Dragon Trainer Tristana's dragon. It's weapon, bro.
No, it's
Skull. It's cleared.
It is too.
Yes.
Almost. It wasn't a dragon. It was the big... What is that, by the way? I don't actually know what he runs.
He's called a Dracolops.
That's his epic bounce.
Don't ask why I know that.
Rusty, 1 point. Congratulations. You won the first one. And we got 2 more. You guys, talk to me about that one before we jump on into champ number 2. Now, what was going through your mind? You're like, butterfly? Why is that?
Saw butterfly. I was thinking of Pokemon. Wrong game, wrong IP, wrong genre. Everything's wrong. So I just went down a rabbit hole that there was no saving me from.
Okay, well, let's see if anything else goes down the rabbit hole, because we're going to be jumping onto champ number 2. Are there going to be a couple of rabbits here?
It was mad zoomed in last time. But, oh my god, bro, is it just Zach?
It's not Zach, no. But it is. It's a color.
That is a color.
It's. What'd you say?
Fresh?
Fresh? No.
Diego?
Oh, it's something from like the Forgotten Isles, right? It's like all the...
It's looking like a Yorick angle.
Yorick angle? Negative.
Ghost, spooky.
Unfortunately.
Fiddlesticks.
Incorrect. Again. Come on, boys.
This is a base, right?
Senna?
Kha'Zix.
Look, at this point,
Warwick, right.
Oh, it has to be Warwick. No, it's not Warwick. Oh, how's that not Warwick?
How is that not Warwick?
It has to be Warwick. He's got claws, right? Nothing else in this game has claws or teeth or
Which? What?
You got it.
No shot.
Oh,
no shot.
Way, bro.
Congratulations. I'm going to give you half a point, Rusty.
I like how they start zoomed in on the piece of just green crap.
We're looking at the sewer system.
How are we meant to know what that is? That's so tough.
Mate,
civil engineers.
Did you not get the memo? Did you not do your homework on all the base bloody looks? Did you do your homework on, some of the, the cool skins too? Because I think the third one's going to have a pretty cool skin.
Yeah, so I don't even know ability names. You're asking a lot from me here.
Well,
everything's QWER.
Did you like in the first one the tip I gave you that it was in the same area because, Cled, and is a Yordle?
Is he a Yordle? I guess he's tiny.
He is, true.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Oh, that was the tip I gave you, and
I should know that. I'm a Yoda one trick. Well, you get that.
You know,
Different
same
game
world
mode.
as Lulu. Either way, we do have a third to jump into, so let's have a look. Let's zoom it on in. Boys, take it away.
Rek'Sai.
No, but you have to
Skarner.
remember this is a skin,
Yeah, this is like a. I mean,
not a base picture.
that looks like
It's
someone
crystals.
frozen in ice, and my
I'm thinking
default is
Skarner. I'm thinking
Lysandra.
Tarek.
Ramus, Hextech. Ramus.
Malphite.
Oh, nah, almost.
No,
I think
really?
you're going down the right route. Now, what's that look like? Because I'm thinking that looks. What do you, if you play, other MMO kind of games? What
It's
do
like
you
a
usually?
beast shoulder pad.
Yes, shoulder pads. I think you're going the right
That's
direction.
Malphite, no?
Hextech
No,
Malphite? That's
that
not
is not
Malphite?
Malphite.
How is that not Malphite, man?
You can
What
see
is
his
that?
head. That is. I'll give you a hint. It's a Black Frost skin.
Okay, there is Skarner, there is... No, is it Scion?
Yes.
No way.
Congratulations.
No, that's Malphite.
That is Malphite. Unreal,
He
bro.
has an axe.
No, that's
Malphite doesn't
Malphite.
have an axe. That's
He
the
does
only.
now.
The
Nah.
only thing that has changed it. It is Scion.
Production is trolling.
Rusty got 2.5 points.
I
Congratulations.
don't want the point. I don't want it. Nah. Wow.
I want to know how Twitch chat's going. I don't know if Twitch opened today, so someone else will have to check for me and let me know if they did as good or better than you guys. That was really hard. Like, if I was playing there, I would have struggled. It's like, hey, who has a butterfly in the game? And I'm just like, no.
Well, Lulu, right? It's the only one with a butterfly. It was a bit of a
Yeah.
curveball.
I can fully understand, Skimmy, how you were just like, Skarner! It has to be Skarner! And then 2
I'm
minutes
thinking
later,
crystals.
Skarner! It's still Skarner!
It's Skarner, it's Tarek, it's Malphite. If it's not those, go next.
That's it. Now let's go into the next segment as well. I hope you had a little bit of fun there with the LCO champion conundrum, but I want to have a bit of fun with you guys at home. I was talking about Twitch chat, and I need you guys to send in your content, because today, for From the Fans, make sure you send in the pictures of your cutest pets or someone else's pets that you took photos of with or without permission that was just doing something funny. I don't know. I've got a pet. I think my Pico got at least 3 pictures submitted. We'll see if they made the cut or not. But look, I think we do have a couple of submissions which we can have a quick look at. So let's see which cute pets we're going to be having a peek at on the broadcast. The Nickness. Sending this one in. What kind of puppy's that? Is he sleeping? I think he's asleep. Look at him with his
sun
little
rays.
paws up.
Look at him. He's got
He's
the
either
chin right in
sleeping
the
or
sun.
It's a pose. It's a posy dog waiting for that, alt dog Instagram account to suck up all those followers, get more than yourself, and you realize that your dog is just the king.
Just Max chilling, getting a bit of sun on the underjaw, getting those jowls tanned up. That's what it's all about. Now, we've got 3 more to get through, so we'll jump on into number 2 and see who it is. Mikester, just dropping his dog. No one's giving us any context with text or names of these pets. So we just got anonymous pets being thrown on the screen.
Are
But
we naming
Mikester,
them? Is that the play?
what are we going to... I'm going to call this one Shadow. 'cause
101 Dalmatians. There we go.
He's
Cheers,
a
mate.
cutie. He's a cutie, Mike. So congratulations on getting a sick pet. Rusty, any words?
No, look, I'm a big dog fan.
Yeah.
Down with Yumi is really my consensus on most of these. So as
No,
long as the
down
pets are
with
dogs,
Yumi.
I am here for it.
I did see a lot of dogs sent in. So let's see if number 3 is also a dog or a feline friend. It is Lothi, with a black lab to the look of it. Oh, big, cute boy. Got a little bit of drool on
It's
his
so
chin.
hard not to go dog voice, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you want to call a dog
Isn't
cute,
that the
like,
point of
he's
this?
so cute.
I thought that was the point of this one. To
He's
talk
a
to him like a
cute
little
boy.
cutie. Hello, I just want to scratch you on the ear, big boy.
That's
So
true.
many good boys, so many good boys. Now, let's have a look at the final one. Who is it? Who do we have? It is...
Oh, no,
oh my
bro.
lord. It
No,
is...
bro.
There's multiple reasons why Rusty hates this one. Go, unleash.
Yeah, because cats are okay, but cats with no fur, not okay. That's my solid stance on this. And then,
Yeah.
you know what? Full respect to the Photoshop efforts to get Udi up there, but you're bald, lol.
Congrats, Rogue.
You're bold, lol.
You're bald lol. I did see that spam. And hopefully he's doing the co-stream now, so we get a few more bald lols in his chat. Keck dubs and stuff, all that. Now, spam it in LCO chat now, please. Thank you. I'll give you a big Mac Jam in chat when I do eventually join you when the game's on. But look, speaking of the game, we've got to get out of the fun. Before we do, make sure you send your pets in at LCO, hashtag LCO. There's a question over there. Just put a picture in. You saw that's what we had then. No context on the pictures, just mad pictures of sick dogs. And and a very unhealthy looking cat. Now, moving forward, we do have this first game to get into. It is going to be Direwolves, it's going to be PGG, and it's going to be a difficult time for Direwolves. So let's talk about them first, because we've enjoyed what we've seen from them. It seems like they are starting to find their feet, get a bit of coordination working for themselves. But look, yesterday it didn't quite work as expected. Kiyose not having the greatest of times there in mid, Rusty. So what do you think they can try to improve on going into today up against Pentagon?
Yeah, so yesterday, to be clear, they were playing against Peace. Peace played a very aggressive early game composition. And for Direwolves, I think they built a decent comp. It just had weak points, right? And Peace picked at those weak points very, very aggressively, and that was kind of it for their chances in the game.
Yeah.
So I guess you could look at draft. I don't think the draft was the biggest issue. I will say I think they drafted a red side comp on blue side, which is something that could be pretty actively exploited. But early thoughts is that Shinky looked fine. It was nothing crazy. It was not a lot to say, right? Like, that game was just kind of over in a flash. So hopefully they're able to reset well for today's games. That's probably the most important thing.
It definitely will be the most important thing. And this team, I'd never really see them tilting. I feel like their mental is very strong. So, speaking of strong mentals, we probably don't want to talk about Pensnet, but they... it was a joke. It was a silly dig. But look, Pensnet, they know what they're doing. They have the greatest mentals and can just straight up just dish it out as much as they can take it. So you know you can throw a little bit of fire at them because they're just going to be throwing it in the rift. And all of them, every single one, has proved their worth in this lineup. It's just a matter of consistency. They said that they're inconsistent in the best of ones. They're just waiting to make it to playoffs. They're waiting for the best of threes, and they just want to get a couple of dubs, enough dubs to make it to the playoffs, Skim.
Yeah, and I mean, if we praise Peace for, the tempo they brought in that last game, you'd definitely put Pensnet in that same conversation as being very aggressive. You just once again look at Balkan. This is a madman that will just literally invade you at every given moment. He played Jarvan last time, 11-2. That was the game where the Jarvan and the Aphelios were fighting for the most kills in the game. Played the Zen last night as well, exact same playstyle. Any of these kind of carries, I say carries because he's playing them in that fashion, that are going to get it in your face, can cause a lot of these team problems. The first 15 minutes they go awry, suddenly hoping for a miracle as a get-back clause. But as far as that game went last time, it was a big shutout in those two positions primarily.
Yeah.
Big ask now for Direwolves to see, is it going to be a draft difference that they can conjure up, or is it just going to be a case of too much aggression to handle?
I think the main thing I remember from this game is that when they decided to pick Corky again, I got very worried. However, they made it look really good this game in comparison to the day before, right? This is the bounce back. This was we lost to Mammoth yesterday. We are angry gaming, right, Rusty?
This was peak anger from Balkan in particular. I have fond memories of him just walking in 1v9, does not care, just smites away a red buff and walks away with 10 health. Easy as it like. And this was, of course, the beginnings of the Penta Denial #1 from Kratos at the very end of this game. So a lot of fond memories about this game. Unfortunately for the side of Direwolves, it was a drastic L in the way of Balkan just being a Giga Chad.
Yeah. I do remember that was also either in the post-match or the day after we did have Praetor, and he was like, look, you didn't ban Aphelios against me, this is what happens. So, I think he's out of the few times, and there has been some losses with it, which I found, a little confusing because historically his Aphelios is absolutely cracked, right, Skimmy?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's definitely a champion that you would associate with him at this stage of the game. So many performances that he delivered with it last year as well, and you just feel like it's a steady hand. You don't really care where you're going to be picking that in the draft. Right now, obviously, it's fantastic. You can just guarantee it's the first pick. So side selection isn't that much of a headache for them, but if you're thinking of sort of AD carries that would rise to the occasion, Aphelios is still up there, even in the discussion of those 200 years.
Yeah, it's a crazy time, going up between these two. I feel like Direwolves, they definitely have the potential to cause a bit of an upset, but Pensnet, we thought, now they're not all just squished into that one-room plane. They seem to have a little bit less tension in the air. Maybe that's what's going on, and it was a secret to their success yesterday.
Look, I'm not in that house with them, but if I was surrounded by 5 people within a 2-meter radius, I'd have tension within minutes. It's too claustrophobic, so I think maybe there is a bit of happiness there. Maybe there is that intangible, Mac, that we haven't considered until this point.
Yes, what kind of tension is what I really want to ask, but unfortunately we've got to bring Kitty in, so you can answer that one a little bit later, Rusty. Kitty, how are you feeling today going into day number 2?
Guys, I'm so disappointed in both Skimmy and Rusty at how bad they are at guessing the skins.
Did you get it?
But I got the Scion one. But to be fair, that
You got the
Twitch one
Malphite?
was really hard. And I got Scarl. That was really easy as well. Guys, come on. Like, you guys need me to sub in or what? But
Yeah.
Okay.
someone else who also had a sub support last night was Frost. So let's grab him in for the interview. Hi Frost, how are you feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Well, let's talk about your sub. So Dials actually subbed in Shinky instead of Bulldog against Peace last night, where I know that you two have previously played together again in Mammoth, I believe. What does Shinky bring to the table that differs from Bulldog?
I mean, I was already blessed to have the Bull God as the support, but you know, they're very different players and very different play styles, but they both contribute a lot, and I'm just happy to play with, work with both supports.
Lucky you, because most ADCs only get one support. But let's talk about standings. So I was looking at the Darwin Standings, and they're currently 5th place, which means you guys are in playoff cutoff. What teams are you guys looking out for, just so they, you know, what teams can contest your spot?
I mean, Mammoth and Kanga probably have a chance of competing for us with the last playoff spot. But we're still in like developmental phase. We're trying to figure out our overall identity. So hopefully we'll get to playoffs, and by playoffs we'll be in our best form.
Well, best of luck for tonight's game, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Always good to have a quick old check-in. But look, Kitty, now you're back. You threw some pretty harsh words at boys there. Hopefully we have something sorted out for the next couple of days, so you can put your money where your mouth is, huh?
Well, I'll definitely be guessing the skins, maybe even on the desk. We don't know when, but hopefully soon.
Okay, I guess we'll see. Now, look, let's start to talk predictions. We got Dials, we got Pentanet. I feel like this is probably one of the most one-sided games we may see today, but no one's gone with me again. Kitty, still out in the lead. Rusty, look, when are you going to start doing the underdog picks? Because are you just hoping that the other two trip?
Mac, I have been. That's why I'm here. We found the issue, Mac. I don't know what to tell you. I went for Gravitas last time around as well in the Gravitas Mammoth match.
Rusty, come to the dark side, all right? It's okay. It's pretty cool down here. I'm having a great time. It's odd. It's definitely odd, but the humidity, yeah, it gets dry when the flames sort of pop up a little bit. But look, for the moment, it's fine. Look, Direwolves, I'm going to lean on Kiyosei and say, look, I need your feet to not be both left feet today. I need a left and a right foot, and then maybe snap some ankles, hopefully, if that happens. Now, I'm not sure what the draft's going to be like here. I hope we do get to see Direwolves leaning on towards those comfort champions, but even PGG, they started playing comfort champs, and as soon as they started playing comfortable, it looks so good. They aren't losing that often, and when they are, it's to the teams that you kind of would expect them to, right, Skimmy?
Yeah, right, exactly. I feel like if you compare both teams when they're playing comfort, you would still give PGG the lead. My question, though, does become, for Direwolves, what is their comfort? Because they are just still playing anything they want. They are just giving us a bit of a taste of everything. Yeah. I think Frost raised a really good point, right? They're just trying to find their identity. So if this is what finding your identity looks like, just, take a few more weeks. Give us all this entertainment. Give us, and the fans, a reason to cheer you on as an underdog.
That's it, right? Now, Kitty, so Pentanet, what sort of percentage are you giving them to get the dub today? Are we thinking like an 80? Are we still giving 20 to Direwolves, or is it more like a 90?
Probably more like a 70-30 Pentanet favor, because we did see Pentanet lose to Mammoth, so I don't know what it all depends on Balkan. If Balkan does well, the team does well. That's my opinion. So let's see what Hulk Smash can do for tonight's game.
Yeah. We'll also see what Yuri's going to be capable of sort of bringing into the mix as well. Some days he's been, explosive as anything, and then other days it's kind of like, wait, pick Corky, and it didn't look good. So, that's the one time. Look, that's honestly the one time I could say he probably didn't have his greatest game so far. And look, Winterer, I feel like we spoke a lot about him for those first initial weeks because there was a lot of hype about him coming into the lineup, but it feels like he hasn't had as much impact maybe I'm just not noticing it. You know, maybe more of the action is just that Volkan's sort of been unleashed, so he's running around and just taking all the attention away from Wintry. What do you reckon, Rusty?
Yeah, I mean, Balkan's definitely been unleashed, right? So it's hard to look past him. Yuri was also the 0-6 player in the loss, so it was hard to look past that, for example. There's been a lot of other players that stand out.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've put more attention into the bottom lane and jungler of PGG than I have for top lane because I feel like he's just existing, right? He's just role-playing, he's facilitating. He's translating live during the games, Mac. He's busy, but it doesn't necessarily translate to winning his lane 1v1. So
Okay,
perhaps goes unnoticed.
Talk to me. So if Direwolves have a chance here, what lanes are we winning through? It has to be mid, but mid and what? Mid and top? Because I feel like Goodo, he has some rough performances. I feel like we need to find Goodo have that consistency he had last year, right, Skimmy?
Yeah. And I think it's an interesting discussion that kind of spawned from their time last year, right? Where Goodo looked so strong on Mammoth 2021. And they were, challenging a lot of these very, very strong teams. The same could be said for Frost, right? So those two coming into this roster, you're thinking, how fantastic, right? You're assembling all these promising rookies. But he hasn't been able to showcase, that same level of standout performance, that attention-grabbingness, if you will, of last time, right? He did get completely outshone by Balkan last time, right? Went 0-7. So these are the big games where you need to rise to the occasion once again and justify, what made everyone so excited about you in the first place.
Now, Kitty, talk to me. We saw Shinky on the support yesterday. How'd he go? Do you think that he's going to, be able to carry that performance across to today? Are we looking for more from him?
Look, I know Shinky can do better than what he presented to us last night. I think it was a 0-5 Yuumi into a Tahm Kench, which what Rogue said, enchanters always win against Tahm Kench. So I'm excited to actually see Dial sub in Shinky again for today instead of just opting back to Bulldog, just to see and give Shinky another chance to prove himself.
Okay, now speaking of supports, Rogue had a much better day yesterday than what we saw when he was trying to play the Yuumi. We got to have a chat with him, or you got to have a chat with him as well. Actually, did anyone go back in the VOD and check if Praedyth was wearing boxers or footy shorts? Now, that's an irrelevant question because Champ Select is ready, but I'll let you stew on it. I'll throw it in. You guys can have a chat about it because obviously it's important.
Yeah. Well, that's a fantastic cliffhanger. Think about the lower midriff there for Praedyth as we load into this.
The hot dogs or legs of gamers.
I saw the screen grab. I knew instantly PGG would be hot on that one to get that out there for the memes. But let's see what happens this time around, right? PGG get blue side, Direwolves opting for red, and instantly off the bat, it's removed the Zeri.
Yeah, Zeri ban, I mean, it makes sense. Praedyth look pretty clean on it. High preference for it as well. Just looking for what comes after this one. Caitlyn Jinx still available, so plenty of AD options still there. Caitlyn Jinx more of the handshake ADs if you wanted to. Yep. But I feel like every time a Caitlyn is given away, it's an L for the team that has to play into the Caitlyn, so a lot of respect needs to be paid. And the Diana ban is something that I feel like it's overdue even for PGG. I think that's twice in a row now it has been banned away from them, but they snuck in one too many victories with that one. So the Diana's going to be taken away here, Skimmy, and looking towards this first pick. Still plenty of options. This is the crazy thing about League right now is with all of the focus that goes into ADs with bans, there's still just an absurd amount of good champions left up and available. First picks like the Xin Zhao just exist, right? If you really wanted to with the Diana gone. Jarvan, if you're painting that.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself, right? Is it still that priority towards the AD carries? If Philios is there, wouldn't be surprised if that was to be locked in, but if it isn't, wouldn't be surprised to see even a support locked in here, but it just seems that these AD carries are just too important. It's always been, I mean, if you just look at the last few weeks of gameplay here in the LCO, the most common picks that will stand out, Jinx and Philios Zeri. After that, it's a big drop-off.
Yeah, so Philios still available. Jhin also an option here for Direwolves on the other side. That's why Jinx is seeing more of a handshake option. In saying that, I really prefer to be the Jinx at all times.
He's getting comfy, isn't he?
Yeah, we've got a Caterpillar on screen.
He's gone to sleep.
Never mind, he's obviously picking Yuumi this game.
Oh no. He knows the camera's on him, doesn't he? He's got the spidey senses.
There it is. Okay, so this is a pretty fair response and almost expected now, right? Sender Tahm Kench is such a powerful duo. Tahm Kench has risen in priority around the rest of the world. And it feels like, Skimmy, the LCO is about 1 to 2 weeks late when it comes to actually playing the global meta. And so I think perhaps after yesterday and today, they're starting to catch up a bit more with the center as a starving option specifically.
It's interesting, right? Because like it was actually Direwolves that took on Peace that lost to that exact combo, so they're going to say, well, that worked. And based on what Rogue also mentioned, right, he said that Time Kench was overrated, so it doesn't seem like PGG are hot on that bandwagon anytime soon. They're going to stick to the default of lethal tempo, hyper range, hyper carry, give it a pocket Lulu, and off she goes.
And I just don't really understand the choice of the Renekton ban if you're going to pick something like this, right, that can freely save your carry. I guess they're very afraid of their solo laners in the early laning phase. Direwolves do put a lot of emphasis on the success of their solo lanes, so perhaps they're just afraid of something happening. But with Diana already banned, we don't think Balkan is an Elise player. Talia is probably his next AP jungler. So I'm not surprised that he doesn't go that path regardless here. And he's going to go for the Hecarim with the Lulu comp, so lots of movement speed to be seen for everyone on the side of PGG right now. As the Florida mages in mid.
So he does, certainly does. His first game of the Hecarim in this split. Seen a handful in the region as a whole. I should say, puts a big emphasis now on Yuri to try and lead the line with a big amount of AP damage. Rise has been put in place here by the side of the Direwolves. Certainly can be flexed. Wouldn't be surprised if Zerenis was locked that in top side. Certainly can be played by Kyosei as well.
Zoe. An odd ban. We only really see it against Starjewel.
Sure.
But Yuri can clearly play it. Was in his match history from the CBLOL. So he's one of the champs that perhaps he can default to. Corki's still available, Jinx Corki, for the comp, right? I don't think the nurse removed Corki from existence. Rise does get a pretty free lane though if you're going to play that matchup, and there's one thing we can note is that Rise, with a lot of freedom to move, has been diving side lanes constantly.
Yeah, very good point. We're talking about teams that would look to play it. Really has been PGG as well as Peace so far with the Rise pocket pick. Interesting point that you also raised with the Corki, right? Ever since this new patch where it did get nerfed, it's only been played once.
Yeah.
It's not banned at all. That one time it was played by the side of Order, I believe, and just seen it drop off a cliff.
I mean, I don't think the nerfs were that big, but clearly a lot of teams are putting more priority on some other mid laners. Speaking of, with the Aurelia and the Zoe gone, you can still pick plenty of standard control mages mid that work with the Hecarim. Orianna is always, once again, that default for me. It's not reliable crowd control, but it's movement speed for augmenting, you know, for a fast Hecarim. It would mean that you probably want like an Ornn top laner, you know, to have a real comp that makes sense. They are blue side, so they'll be blind picking regardless. We'll see where they choose to go, because it doesn't have to be the Ori route for that comp. This is definitely one other option.
It felt tough to be the Akali though, given the amount of peel protection and bruises in your face. Opting for the Victor instead, so that will be your scaling control mage that will offer a lot of power in the late game, determining how these fights can work, and obviously opening up avenues for the first 3 picks on the side of PGG to pop off and perform.
I wouldn't mind something that has hard engage here as a 5th pick for PGG still. Something to go with the Hecarim. Because I do think that if you're playing a Hecarim composition, if he is the sole engage source, I think it's just losing. Because the Hecarim will die, right? And as a sole frontliner, it's very easy to then get into the ranks of the backline. Flanks, assassins could be a little bit too powerful then. Set, I do think, works decently well. Maybe not optimal, but it's a blind pick, so you have to do what you have to do here. I don't mind it at all. Can still get into the backline pretty nicely. Teleport flanks a pretty big deal here for PGG. Flanks in general, with a Hecarim and a Set, they're going to be large. And I was thinking, Skimmy, for just a moment that it could have been a Gragas angle perhaps for top lane. Just because then they would have the Gragas Lee Sin, you know, with a Tahm Kench, and it's about the Senna outranging. But I think Jace is something that can fit a similar bill with the Senna. And they also have the potential of a Rise side laning as the game progresses. So a lot of 1-3-1 threat. And it is almost like the old Tahm Kench composition of put the center and Tahm Kench mid with a Lee Sin moving to the sides of a Jace and a Rise, and you'll find the most success.
Yeah, it's going to be the impact that they can look to try and turn those tides, make it a 1v2 or 2v1 actually, where the Senna is doing what she does best, farming up those souls. I suppose at face value, it looks to me as if Direwolves have opted for range to try and chip away at Pentanet's roster before they can find that, you know, hard engage angle, whether that be from the side of the Hecarim, whether that be from the side of a Winter Set flank. PGG certainly got something that's fit to their bill, which is they want to fight, they want to get in your face. Would you say Any team's got a clear advantage here?
I think given that PGG have low mobility really across the board except for a couple of resets, there's some movement speed from Balkan, but generally there's no gap closers, if that makes sense. If Direwolves can play their ranges correctly and get the center ranges up, play side lanes and actually start fights on their terms, and I think they're in a pretty good spot overall. But that does require a lot of finesse, and we're yet to see high degrees of finesse from the Direwolves gang. So they are going to be playing a bit more towards what I would hope is a 1-3-1, maybe a 3-2, right, with Gyose Zonas working together. And if they're able to get that going, they have a pretty strong composition in their own right. Laning phase, though, there's just going to be a lot of scaling on the PGG side. So both teams pretty comfortably scaling. A couple of tier builders available as well if necessary. Could be 3 from the side of Direwolves. We might have a passive start. And junglers could be the gap that we're looking at. And if that's the case, isn't that just Balkan's playground?
Well, that would be the difference maker for sure, right? The fact that Balkan would be very comfortable. We're going to try and, you know, balance out the books, if you will, and give them that winning advantage in a matchup that would seem to be favored for them at first glance anyway. Bear in mind, you know, last time these two teams did meet, it was a bit of a bloodbath. 28-minute game, and there were 42 kills. So if that's anything to go off, perhaps a passive start. Hopefully we ramp up into something spectacular. Here we go, loading into game number 1 of the night. It's day 2 of week number 5, already well past the halfway point here for a brand new year. Always an exciting time. And also an exciting time is speaking with some of the coaching staff as we welcome back Poltron from the side of Direwolves.
Great to be back.
Great to have you. Great to have you. I have to ask, you know, second game here for Shinky now. So how's practice been with him joining the roster? And what's it been like for him personally, playing again with Goodo and Frost?
Well, I would say first off, he's very excited to play again. He was always really, really eager, and straight up, like, having Frost and Goodo paired up with Shinky, you know, all three of them extremely excited to play again. Obviously, they played in Mammoth together last year. Scrims have gone very well with Shinky. We've had like a few hiccups here and there. Yesterday we got smashed by Pete's, but I think we're yet to show our true potential. And hopefully today with, you know, this strong early game comp, we can really dish out our damage.
For sure. I mean, the one that stands out for me, right, in that defeat against Peace, is they did play the setter in time, Kench. They brought it back. So is this recency bias of, well, that looked good, let's just do it too?
I'd say it's a little bit of that, but at the same time, we have been prepping a bit of center time ourselves beforehand, so it's definitely something that we are prepared on.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Poltron. Well, I wish you boys the best of luck in this rematch, and best of luck for the week as a whole.
Thank you.
Pretty chill start to this one, Skimmy. We're not going to have any crazy action. It's always nice when we have the coach interviews, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good.
Nothing to actually report on. Both junglers just going to be clearing from their blues to their red. Hecarim is definitely a full clear jungler. Unless you are only and manage to find the miracle angle, the impossible angle, he was able to get some successful mid dives off early yesterday. It's going to be most likely that he pars Raptors red Krug. Raptors Krug red if you're looking to gank. Try and get the buff as late as possible. Either way, he's got his blue. He's ready to charge through those camps. Goodo going to be spotted, as is Balkan. Vision on each respective jungler. And now you watch how both teams adapt to having confirmation, effectively, on what this vision provides. You can place a ward 3 minutes 30 bot side if you're starting to bounce and push a wave back, but they're under their turret, so they're okay. Top lane's the exact same thing. So their waves have been played like the junglers are going to be here, and we get to just hang out and scale.
Yeah, it's a really good point, right? The fact that they are playing to those opposite sides of the map and have lanes that are pushed against them that could certainly bounce back and open up opportunities for them. But I'm keeping tabs on Rogue right now. Look where he's positioned. Going in for a bit of an invade. You have to imagine he's just laying down Vision, and the Vision is himself.
I was wondering if he was waiting to hit that Scryers backwards. Okay, well.
What's happened here? Blue buff's gone. I can't leash it. I'm not level 2. Trying to play top lane in China Lulu with Smite.
It's an odd ward to place as well, just quietly. Lee Sin's not someone that's going to be... Like, he might go for the second rotation of Gromp, but doesn't actually spot the Gromp camp proper if Lee Sin walks through the lane. It'd only catch him moving from Wolves to Gromp. But he does get confirmation that every single camp on the bot side is cleared. They saw him anyway at Raptors. So
Yeah.
it's just a deep ward because he's got freedom to move. And you know, in this case, what we did see from Praedyth is a cheater recall, right? They push the wave in. He's going to go back for a cheeky longsword control ward and has the potions ready to go. So, I mean, you just kind of take those opportunities to do as you please. Doesn't want to gank mid. There's absolutely no point for that. So, you know, just a move for a deeper wall.
Couldn't put it past them though, because we have seen these AD carries definitely going early back to base, level 2, level 3, rocking up mid lane like a support and roaming and saying, oh, well that works out for us. So we saw in their game yesterday, right, for Peace also with the diving job, and they got picked off by a Jhin back in base. So interesting start. Looks like we're back into the game, so no harm, no foul, nothing of great urgency to concern us with.
And so to Poltron's point as well, he said that his composition has much more early aggression. I think that's true with the caveat that his opponents don't. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have a Jace that could go tier, he's going to have a Ryze that should be building tier as well. Senna with the starving build tends to go straight for AD items, but you could consider a tier in that build if you want to scale up for free in a free lane. That doesn't scream early game to me at all, right? That doesn't say early game, that says scaling. I think where it becomes early game is that your opponents want to scale even more than you do super early, and you have a Lee Sin to work with a Ryze. You have kill threat from bottom lane as well with a time crunch and a Senna. So mid playing the bottom, I think, is where that early aggression really exists. Akudo is going to walk through this ward, so talking towards the freedom that Rogue had results in being a fantastic ward placement. Bot Scuttle already secured here as well, so if you put yourself into the mind of Gudo Skimmy, you've got Wolves or you've got a bot gank. That's really your option.
Yeah, given that he did go for that full clear into reset onto Vision once again, what is to play? Because there's no camps up for the taking. As you have to try and spot out an opportunity. I think it's a good point though, as you raise, right? The fact that you are benefiting off the fact that your opposition isn't going to be too keen to take those fights also, so you can get away with it, right? You can look to try and push leads in those early stages.
Just taking stock of this lane in mid, it feels like Kyose's pulled a rabbit out of a hat. He's managed to reset, walk back to lane to the no reset of Victor and hold a freeze.
It's going to be Balkan getting bullied out here. Hits the Ghost, not taking any chances on this occasion. They just drive by through mid. So, well, you're not ganking me today.
Jeez, he wants those Raptors, he wants his own Raptors. So he's just going to coast to coast through mid. And just quickly back to that midpoint, Kyose might even stop a base here. This will effectively force a teleport from Yuri if Kyose is able to successfully push this one. He has to be careful of the Hecarim that he saw pass through mid though, and that ward's getting cleared. So jungle is mid-gap, is what you're currently seeing. But the fact that Kyose was able to get onto the map effectively and have the wave in a frozen position is really big. Like, it just shows that he had his lane in a perfect position early, and Victor is obviously weak until he is strong.
Certainly is. And Balkan is also pretty strong right now. Not level 6 though, needs another full clear of a camp to really claim that one, rather than waiting for anything to respawn. Opted to go for an adventurous Drake, but that is going to be spotted out here by the bot wave of the Direwolves, so that will fizzle out. Now Gudo takes his chance to play catch up. Also spot out if anybody's going to scout him too.
Yeah, Gudo has so much priority in bottom lane, and he knows that Yuri has to go back and teleport to lane, that he has a window of opportunity to have a crack here. Direwolves, by control warding, actually give it away, right? That the dragon is being done even if they don't have vision. But the intent to contest is 0. So it will just be a nice objective secured here by the Direwolves side. As long as Gudo doesn't die and does successfully smite that one. Balkan with some information of his own here. But just nothing to do. Just nothing to do. And the thing is, I don't think it's an issue that he has nothing to do. He's very comfortable just farming up. More in the Direwolves court to be more proactive. I think very early. Then both teams are pretty comfortable scaling.
So will be comfortable scaling. Also worth mentioning is how comfortable Winter is on that set performance. You saw it there. The stats popped up. That game, if you can remember, was up against Kanga. Where he took on a top lane Lee Sin. Set rushing Hull Breaker, became a bit of a menace. Repeat ganks went that way. And he certainly was the participant in that game, showing up big time for them. So we'll see if he can find that same level of success this time around. But as far as predictions go, I mean, early game assessment, It's a farm off.
Yeah, it's genuinely just a farm battle. Yuri waiting for that E-evolve, has 91 stacks there. I think it's at 100. He'll choose to evolve the E, gets a lot more wave control as a result of that one. Until such a point, as you can see, Kyosei just looking to be as optimal as possible, farm as many camps as he can. Zoranus didn't base.
Oh, he's spotted him. It's only going to be now that he realizes, hey, there's a Headless Horseman top side. It's not the play I'm looking for. There's the suplex to try and get him away from this turret. A flash away. Has he survived? I think he has. Balkan's locked underneath the turret. Kyosei gets a double hit for sure. No, he's missed the Q. The trap goes out, but it does not connect. The trap is there. But apparently, it's Set that lays the biggest one of them all. The fight's not going to finish there, however, because now Gudo rocks up with a blue buff, with an ult, and with an insect kick. There it is. Thorny Shadow from bot lane all the way to top to pick up an assist, and Gudo, with a swell of the item, guarantees they make it an even trade.
Yeah, Gudo gets here just at the last second to make sure that trades happen. Like you highlight, Senna using the ultimate there as well. It would have been nice if he's able to position it for the kick to make sure it did damage. Rico going to get stopped there by Frost. But either way, there was a shield. There's going to be more than enough damage coming out of the Lee Sin there to get it done. This is big from the Ryze specifically. The Ryze ultimate, you can see how fast he cheats if you look at the minimap. They're almost the exact same position walking here. Zoranus does well to survive. The reason this dive happens in the first place, that tragic Q I will add there from Kyosei. The reason this happens in the first place is Jace doesn't base and sits on 0 mana for a significant amount of time. Has teleport ready that entire time, but nevertheless, Gudo comes into the mix, the center ultimate. You see what I mean now with perhaps he could have timed it for damage. I think it would have been lethal straight off the kick. But either way, the trade back, it's 2 for 2.
It only is 2 for 2, and it's worked out in favor. You'd argue for Direwolves at this stage, given that the kills have gone in their favor. Yes, both mid laners have found it, but that is a kill for Gudo and Aleeson. That will be hungry for early game impact. He's found it. He's also found himself a Herald to boot with the first Drake. So as first as map control goes, whilst it has been a bit of a steady farm off where gold leads have not really been a talking point, at least for win cons and opportunities to give them a gold lead, that's all for them.
Bit going to be pressured here. You can see 3 people grouping up for this one. The bottom lane of Direwolves is base, and it is on.
Look him go with the whimsy on his head, the ghost and the ult. You can't run away. Sheen or no Sheen, it does not matter. He's going to run you down and remove you from the game. Now Winter also has to be careful. He has no vision whatsoever. Will not spot Gudo going for this lane gank.
Hasn't been detected. Winter are.
Or do they go for the dive? Surely not. Set is one of the best 2v1 champions in situations like this.
That went from an angle to pretty trash. Belcard wants to have a crack here. Is at least going to make sure the wave is secured. He has no ultimate, so no shot that he's actually looking for a dive there. But when you've got Rogue and Yuri moving up here, it was certainly possible. And if this isn't just odd communication from PGG, I don't know what is. Skimmy? Yuri trying to do something while the rest of his team wants to reset. He spends 15 seconds instead of perhaps even walking towards mid lane to push the wave and reset. An extra 140 gold that goes missing for him to try and stop a base that was long gone.
He's going to lose a few minions on this wave, but he has sold biscuits to pick up the Ludens, so I guess overall...
I mean, Skimmy, that wave was Ludens and the control ward, alright? I'm a simple man. By which I mean support made.
Yes. Vision very important. Supports to know it more so than anyone.
Kyosei also dodged everything, by the way, from that Hecarim engage from Belcard and Rogue, but he just moves too fast. Fear didn't connect, he sidesteps, but you can't actually get away.
He doesn't have the ult this time, but he's going to poke his head into the bot lane. Lane now held in a 50-50 split. The second Drake has been snuck away once again. Very quick pace. For the side of Direwolves once more, we're on track for an early soul point too.
Yeah, this is really good from Direwolves, giving themselves a pretty solid win condition. Considering the game is dead even in gold, get those tiers spiking, get the items scaling up, and look for the team fight around that point. Coincide nicely with the soul point if that were to happen.
Ooh, that was close.
Lucky's got that Herald. Hello.
Oh, hello. Winter going for it. It's going to get knocked back by Hammerform. Cop one turret shot, but that will be it. So Winter is spotting an opportunity to try and make a play even without Flash.
Hey, listen, only one person in top lane has an ultimate, so he's going to use it while he has that advantage. Nice little attempt at some harass there, and in the 1v1 in a melee versus ranged matchup, it's a nice little way to try and do something. Balkan mid.
Yeah, Balkan looking for it. Oh, good flash away. Now he's going to commit, but he's got no backup. Yuri can't help him out. He's just going to die to the turret. He's being kicked. He's being claimed. And Gudo's got his number.
Yeah, this is not a 10-2 Jarvan running through the game right now. This is definitely a very different Balkan this time. Tries to have a crack in mid. You get the flash, and I think the issue that he ran into is the turret was hitting him. So he made a snap decision to try and go for the 1v1 kill to get out of the turret aggro. Walk straight into a Lee Sin with a center ultimate to trade him. Once again, just losing. Direwolves continue to find opportunities.
Pretty big impact as well, right? The fact that they're going to find that kill on towards the Lee Sin, but it can summon the Herald, break some plates, and then also steal away the enemy blue buff. So, nice little aftermath, but still, at the 14-minute mark, the gold lead dead even.
One place we haven't really checked in on at all is bot lane. There's not a lot of action to be seen down there. Tahm Kench can be hyper-aggressive with the center if they wanted. But as aptly stated perhaps by a Rogue last time, these Tahm Kenches are trash. Enchanters all scale. So he's scaling really freely. And he's enjoying himself a pretty good game so far on this Lulu. Praedyth also casually farming his way up, has the Mythic done, Cull stacked. Tahm Kench has a lot of CS just quietly, but this center is playing much more of a supportive build right now. Not a lot of money to his name, and you know, one of the advantages of the Tahm Kench center is you can play hyper-aggressive, make a lot of early money from your Spell Thief, or Spectral Sickle, I suppose it is for AD. Try and keep up with your support and money that you're able to generate outside of the lane as well. No aggression, no money.
Yeah, we saw it be the case yesterday, right? The fact that it was even a support center in that situation, but it was a carry. And you're thinking, when it's reached that point, it's doomed. Really, for lack of a better term, very hard to recover from that position. But as far as things goes for Kiyose, I mean, he's going to be very happy with the fact that that blue buff has been stolen away. Going to give him a lot more ability to stack up this tier quickly. A lot more opportunity for him to harass, and a lot more opportunity for them to find plays like this. As Yuri's going to get collapsed by the Minuet, but in comes Balkan driving by again. He says, "You've embarrassed me, Kiyose," and that is the last time. A flash away from Frost, but the Chaos Storm's on his head. Oh. That rocket. How close was that rocket? But Frost get away.
I mean, this time around, Kiyose with no flash, it's gonna have to work this time. They try and help him out, but the Rise is dead. Direwolves lose their mid laner. The kill goes on to Praedyth as well, who gets that blue buff. He's gonna be able to push this turret down with the extra mana from the long range. Shinky.
They're in. Yeah, they had to flash away from that one. Good look for this one. Oh, good. Very good wild growth there. Interrupt was crucial, otherwise Gudo had an angle.
Yeah, nice cancel by Rogue on that Lee Sin kick, or it could have been lights out for either him or the carry in Praedyth. Herald going to be secured during all of this as well, so that is a big win for PGG across the board. Objective control kills Yuri.
Oh no, Yuri's been left to the Wolves. Literally on his own. Can't claim anything back, so an after effect really of that team fight.
It looks like it was a Wardhop flash kick from Gudo, just judging off the summoners that we're missing. And Yuri doesn't have flash, so easy to prey upon perhaps. But yes, was definitely left to his own devices. I think the confirmation that the Herald was completed, I think they saw a couple of the health bars there from PGG. Means that the floodgates were open. So they found they're in, they find the mid laner of PGG.
Once again, I mean, the timing is just spectacular here for the Direwolves. Third Drake of the game spawning. It's an Ocean Rift that we're playing for. They're utilising the fact that they won't have a TP to run back for this one. Pensnet are not interested whatsoever. They're much more keen on just taking map control and claiming the first turret, which was still yet to find.
Doesn't look like we're going to get a Jinx ult chucked with this one either. Doesn't want to even take a shot at it. One thing that we've been seeing around the rest of the world, Skimmy, and I don't think we've seen much of it yet here in the LCO, is Jinx ultimate is on such a low cooldown. That was one of the changes that Jinx received. I think it was legit like 20 seconds off a level 1. Just chuck the ult at people to stop resets, to contest every single objective that you're not going for, just to really give extra pressure to everyone, because the cooldown is so low, it's just going to be back up again. Yuri No, Winterer has teleport. If he was going to teleport, he wants to get back to base first. That's what we're waiting on. The wave is crashing now.
Run for a flash wall by Gyose. Ridingman plays the TP's a little bit too late. Oh, he gets the trade back. That's huge. And Winter doesn't need to do much more in this situation now because they're winning a team fight in mid-bowl. Khan! No, he's going to die as well. As well as Praetiv. Oh, it's 2 map plays. And it looked good for PGG initially, but Dire will straight up.
We'll have to get a replay of what happens in mid as well. I think Frost hits Q as the lethal rocket in Praetiv's mind connects. Nice timing. We'll get the replay here. It's the Hecarim ult that goes forwards, pushing straight back. I think the Lulu ultimate actually cancels the full duration of the knockback there from Frost, and Tahm Kench is a beefy boy. Yeah, turret is ramped up. Frost press Q as the auto attack comes across, and that ramped up turret literally one-hits Praetiv. Bot lane as well. I don't know if the recall just wasn't in time from Winterer, but either way, he gets there to try and help his team, but Yuri puts in all the work himself.
What a close game we have here so far. Still, deadlock will not be broken, but a big win condition has been achieved here by the side of Direwolves. Gudo is putting in a very solid performance on this Lease. And a complete turnaround from the last time these two teams met where he went 0-7. Now he's 4-0. He's the only one in the game with a bounty.
That's true. He's certainly having a game. Catching all of the attempts that come out of Valkan, a couple of plays by himself also, working nicely with the Senna. I think that's the biggest takeaway for me. Gudo's playing well, but he's got a Senna ult ready to go with him every single time he tries to make those plays. So it is a cross-map communication. PGG now still going to advance forward, Skimmy. They've got a lot of strength in their items, specifically in Praetor. 2 items done. He's the player to watch.
He's got a lot of range as well, right? Gone for the Gale Force. Second item complete is the Rapid Fire Cannon.
Yeah, movement speed
Really
and
wants
range.
to make sure, absolutely, just wants to make sure I've got movement speed, I've got mana most importantly, I can stay in rocket form, and I can match sort of the range that you're bringing as the center and also as that Jace.
Hey, here's the thing though, Praetor is currently in mid lane. And it's not a jinx to say that this is the cursed land for the AD of PGG. This is where it's really going to be a test for them. Does he die in mid or is he okay?
He's going to cop a bit of a beating as he transitions into the red buff, which has been leashed for his use. So, great buff for the great time. Question is, what can they really do with it right now? Because the only thing that's up and available will be the Baron.
Well, the Drake in a minute 30 is Ocean Soul. So I think that's it. That's what it comes down to, right? PGG put so much of their vision for the Baron, but when all's said and done, they have to fight for the Drake, not the Baron. Direwolves are the one with strategic flexibility. Oh, hey, that's what we like to see. We speak about it. It starts happening. 60 seconds on the cooldown, right? Dragon up in 60 seconds. Perfectly fine to do stuff like that. You can genuinely do that just to stop recalls.
Certainly can. We have seen it plenty of times around the world. Why not? Used to be the go-to, at least for stealing those objectives. The splash damage was horrendous in recent times also. I guess you saw the Jhin with the Curtain Call doing just that. AD carries certainly do love to get themselves in the mix of acting as a second smite button for their team. But PGG have deployed to the map first. They haven't spotted this Pixel Brush ward, however. They're going to walk straight past it. Now, the sweeper will reveal. Primed and positioned, 30 seconds, Ocean Soul.
We're going to try and clear this one. Doesn't want to get caught out of position here, so it's good that Valkan came back over to help him auto attack. Frost also going to sweep his way through with vision. Winterer has the perfect flank position, but it depends on how Direwolves choose to play this one out, because the flank will be exposed if he's not careful. The ward gets placed in the bush to spot him. Drake is the game. Direwolves can actually just flip for the Drake. I don't think they need to be afraid of flipping unless it's like a 5-for-0 trade and Baron is on the cards. But the composition wants to sit back, center harassed with W, look for some Jace poke, and then have the Tahm Kench go in.
Everybody has flash as well, bear that in mind, so it might not be as easy for PGG just to flash execute, and
they don't have wave set up, Skimmy, so overall I think PGG are making more money from a stalemate here, but the threat is so much higher if Zoranus hits one more onto a carry.
Look at Volcan, waiting in the wings. In goes Winter. He's already hit that flash. He's been rocked in place. Hits the haymaker down and got it out this fight. Volcan and looking for that flank. He's being kicked with the Dragon's Rage. It's the ultimate. He might just be dead now. A clutch. Wild growth as the Dawning Shadow will not be lethal. But they have removed Winter. The Rise is ramping up, cycling through those cooldowns, finding one. And they're going to find a second as Shinky bops on his head and hits him with a double.
That could just be the Ocean Soul. Praedyth gets a kill, but it doesn't mean he has anything to contest the Drake now. There's going to be no Jinx ult to steal that one. Valkan, no smite for 3 seconds. That is Ocean Soul confirmed and secured for the side of Direwolves. That is terrifying for Pentanet.gg to try and fight into. When Direwolves have poke, they have means to actually proc that Ocean Soul. And this actually comes all the way back to Champ Select, Skimmy. Winterer gets kited. Valkan just gets Tahm Kench denied and kicked away and kited. Neither tank gets to operate firmly together because their engage sucks. And this is where I said perhaps an Ornn angle or a flank is the way to go, but they lose all flanking rights when they group up as 5 in mid lane. And look at the punish that comes from that. Direwolves just dance over them.
They certainly do. Credit to Direwolves, making sure it wasn't going to be as easy to try and go for that flank on them. Frost is looking for it, but he will not find it. So PGG find their second objective of the game. They will get a Baron. It's an important one.
Yeah, it's a really big Baron. It kind of stems any kind of immediate advances from the Direwolves camp. They have to now weather the Baron Storm, but beyond that, right, they've got some timing here for the resets to come across. They'll break the turret. The map is pretty open. You've got the top lane out of turret to take here as well for Direwolves. PGG, I feel like you have to, like, you're 2,000 gold ahead, your composition is still incredibly strong. Let's not discredit that they can still win this game against an Ocean Soul. But I feel like you need to make use of this Baron. It can't just be a stalemate Baron. 3 items on a Jinx, surely, right?
Especially the Lord Dominic's now complete. Predator will have range, but he'll have Shred as well. Just needs a way to be protected, quite right. As you say, left to his lonesome in the mid lane, rest of the team in the jungle, waiting for an opportunity to try and pounce upon their prey. A handful of flashes were burnt. Perhaps there's ever a chance now for Direwolves to be punished. It may just be now.
Groups though, right? Rogue is with the Praetor, so this is where he is most protected. Valkan just threatening engages. Not actually meaning it, I don't feel like, but threatening those engages. Still definitely some angles here for them. Direwolves are going to show respect. The Baron pans out almost in a way that you would expect, right? There's one push left on it if you would like, but for turrets to take, you'd have to push the bottom wave in. It's going to take too long. Baron probably just completely gives up. And it's just going to be reset from this point. And that's a 1k gold difference with an Ocean Soul that I'm not going to accredit a specific gold value to because it's variable depending on comp and depending on how you play. But I feel like that gives them a slight lead overall for effective gold.
No doubt about it. The question that becomes, though, what does it mean for the game state? Because, yes, they have that buff in their arsenal. Yes, they have the poke, which is proving to be so successful for them. But with the Baron about to fizzle out, and 3 minutes on the clock before we have ourselves an Elder Drake, it may just be a flip of all flips.
Definitely look for objective-based fights, I think, as well, right? You don't want to sit there and post up. Where you've got Zoranus just sitting there, the 7-foot shack just making your life a nightmare. You got to engage.
No. Falcon's going in. 20 seconds left for the Baron. The turret goes down. Beautiful trap there by the Victor. That's absolutely huge. They've taken down 2, and most importantly, they've removed the Rise. Shinky's dead. There's no protection now for their center. Burton a flash as the horse goes in. Giddy up, because PGG are on a ride to victory.
A big team fight, that's it, right? You pick your moment, you still have just enough Baron left to look for that wave, and they go. No hesitation from Valkan, and I think honestly that catches Direwolves off guard. Baron has expired, there's no shot that they can reasonably end without a contest from Direwolves. And you can see them stepping up, they really want to kill these minions, they want to stop, PGG want the win.
Yeah, another wave's coming in, it's healthy, Goodug's in trouble, forced to ward hop away, into the Phantom he goes, but the Nexus is now exposed, members of PGG are low, turn their attention on towards the Nexus, ignore the Direwolf members. This is a GG condition where it shouldn't really have been, but in the late stages, one team fight is all it takes.
I think the fact that that game ends in favor of PGG for a bot lane in a turret is definitely not something that you want to say, not something you want to see. sloppy gameplay, perhaps it's fair to say. I mean, just one too many Drakes freely given away here in a very bad teamfight attempt. Ocean Soul goes to Direwolves. They trade it for Baron and win with the Baron. That's how fast that game flipped.
It ramped up. It certainly did. It was a passive early game. It was a case of, you know, one team playing chess, the other playing checkers, looking to try and find any opportunity to open up a win condition, and it was found. It really was found there by Direwolves, but, you know, even us, we weren't even expecting him to go for that final push with that minute left of the Baron towards bot side, but it happened, and PGG do it again, Mac.
Certainly do. Not in the cleanest way. You guys already established that, though. I walked away from my PC for a second, and I came back because I was like, Direwolves are ahead that little bit. Of course, the gold was still in favor for PGG. And I walked back, and I missed whatever happened at the end because PGG would just smack it on the Nexus, and I was like, what the hell? When did this happen? So, fortunately, we got some replays, so I can get all back up to date with what I damn missed because it was a very, very exciting game. I thought Direwolves, the underdogs coming into this, were looking pretty good to take it, especially when they managed to get the Ocean Soul. But, of course, that was traded for Baron. And it seems that the Baron was just used to success for PGG.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, it feels like perhaps they caught Direwolves off guard, right? That was the speculation at the time, because it was an uncomfortable position for Direwolves, but with time, it was going to become better and better. And you saw the potential of their team fighting from this fight right here, right? You see a set Hecarim go in, you force them into the river, you remove flanks, and it's just a case of kite them until the team fight is yours. But then suddenly a Baron exists, suddenly this fight happens out of thin air, and again, it's for an inner turret with absolutely no reason to be there. The turret's dead as the fight starts. That's
what I blinked, and that's what I missed. And okay, so that's how the game ended. They were just all pushed up, full wave. Buff was there with Baron, and that was the game. Okay, interesting that it ended up that way. It was a little unfortunate to get caught off like that, but it just goes to show what PGG are capable of when they know they have the advantage. They can really push the point, and they only came out of that with a 5k gold lead. Ocean Soul as well for Direwolves, and they just didn't really get a chance to use it, unfortunately. Now, looking at Yuri, man was pumping up those numbers, wasn't he, Skim?
He was. I mean, in a lot of those team fights, even if he died, he was still doing, you know, double what some of the other members on either side of this game were able to pump at, right? It's a classic argument of they needed hard AP damage. That's what the draft was built around. And, you know, a Victor is going to deliver just that.
And it's just, the fact, I feel like we haven't seen a game like this in terms of how different the damage is across the board. Like, he's the only one that's, like, crazily popping off. You do have Praetor there, he's about 4k behind, but everyone else just feels like they're so much further, or like at least the graphs just look smaller. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it just looks like he's just that big in comparison. Look, I feel like Volkan on the Hecarim, I kind of was expecting a little bit more, like some crazy mayhem going on, but I feel like we didn't get as much as I kind of wanted.
Was that not enough?
No.
Man was just diving, and Yuri's like, well, you're on your own, bro. Like, I can't help you out here.
That was interesting. And look, we called out Goodo as well. He didn't get a whole lot of damage done, but he played a relatively decent game. I think he only fell once, and that was right on that final push as well. So really doing a good job individually. Unfortunately for Direwolves, it's just like across the board, it didn't really have enough there. I did like what the center was capable of, you know, big damage.
The comp's fine, yeah.
Yeah, the whole comp looked good. Like, I feel like the whole game looked good up until that one point, which just ruined the game for them. So
there's a couple of things,
over, right?
One of them is that Kyosei didn't have flash for like 30 seconds. And that to me is like, I don't know if PGG were timing that. I'm very curious to know what their comms were at that moment. But if he didn't have flash and they called it, then that's the mistake of Direwolves that kind of lost them the game, right? The pick from PGG was perfect. The correct person goes down, and it could be just that simple.
Well, that's it. And just knowing that the flash wasn't there, playing around the sums, that's what separates the professionals from the also professionals, but the ones that lost today. Now, let's talk about the player of the game. Who would you give it to, Skinny?
It's a good question, actually. I'd imagine it'd be one of the engaging options because they had a big ask, right? Because Direwolves were never getting those team fights initially so well, denying what they could do, but ultimately, in the end, that's what won them the game. So I'd probably be looking either Volkan or Winterer.
Okay, well, both of those are wrong. Rusty, you want to take a guess?
In mid. Praetus didn't die in mid. He has to be the most valuable person.
There you go. And that's it. Praetus was the player of the game.
It's as easy as that.
Praetus didn't die in mid. He's had his best game of the split so far. 5-1 and 2. Doing all the right things. 63% kill participation. Dropping those bloody rockets all across the map and just keeping people guessing, as well as a large amount of that damage share. If he got 33%, how much did bloody Yuri get? Was it? He'd been like 40
for sure,
40 bloody 3% or something like that. That's nuts. Insane performance from him. Skimmy, any kind words for the man?
I mean, yeah, that's what you expect, right? When he's going to play these 80 carries, he's going to be looking to try and chomp up every bit of opportunity he can find. And I think the build that he went for this game was perfect. We were highlighting the fact that, you know, a lot of those flashes went down in that previous team fight. Dire will win it. Stock check what's available for him this time. Well, if there is no escape plan, it's just a classic Jinx performance, right? You get one reset and you just run away with things.
Absolutely classic performance. Now, I did get word it was 42% damage share that Yuri had, so that is big, big damage. Someone else that's used to doing a bunch of damage on the Rift is Kitty, so let's bring her back in because she loves to have a chit chat with the players after these games.
Okay, so I've grabbed MVP player Praetus for the interview. So let's get into it. Hello Praetus, congrats on the win. However, it wasn't the cleanest performance coming out of PGG. What made the game so close?
I think some of it had to do with draft, because we basically just forgot about his Ari, so we just had to substitute a ban for Ari, and then that kind of changed the way we drafted the whole thing. So maybe some of that. I think some of our players were just off. Like me, I had a headache. I literally adjusted my screen 3 times, my chair twice. I don't know if you saw it on the cam, but I felt so uncomfortable that game. So I think maybe we're just having a bad day, but props to Dials, they played pretty well.
Well, hopefully your headache gets better, and let's see if you guys have a better performance for tomorrow. But let's talk about the Dragon Soul. So you guys actually traded Dragon Soul for the Baron. What was the win con, and how did you guys plan out the team fights?
I think so. The Dragon fight happened, and we had no one flanking versus their comp, so it was very unwinnable. I think we didn't identify that fast enough for some reason. But so I think that's why we lost that fight. And then we never planned to trade Baron. I think Balcon was like, "Hey Mark, Baron," and I was like, "Yeah." I can't swear again, or maybe I'll get punished. But I was like, let's do it, whatever. And so I started hitting Baron, and we got Baron. So, and then the game ended pretty fast, 27-minute game. But I feel like we weren't ahead at all, the whole game. So, definitely the 27 minutes did not tell the story of this game.
Yeah, I believe it was a really, even in the kills it was really close, but I need to know something else, because I did interview Rogue last night and we saw you running to the bathroom 3 times, and Rogue clarified that you were washing your hands. Why were you washing your hands 3 times in a row?
I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. Sometimes you're feeling it. I wash my hands before every game because I need to get that clean that clean feel in the hands. So I'll wash my hands before every solo game. So if you're ever invading on my team, I won't be there. I'll right click my tower and I'll head off. So something felt off yesterday too, but not in game. I guess it was before game. It was the washing hands part. This time it was in the game today.
You hear that, guys? If Praetus on the enemy team, go do a level 1 invade, because he's definitely going to be AFK. Well, thanks Praetus for the interview, and hopefully you get a good night's rest, and hopefully that headache goes away.
Thank you.
Keeping it clean, as per usual. Big Marky Mark in the bot lane. Now, of course, he's doing a good job, but we have to get, that little bit closer towards the game. We still got a break to get to, and fortunately, you guys at home, you've sent in a bunch of the content that we've been looking for. It's pets, we love doggos, we love kittos, and let's bring them up. Let's have a look at what you have for us. It's Lockie McAllister, the big man with the, is it a husky? I think it's a husky, right?
Samoyed.
Big old fluff.
Samoyed.
A Samoya?
Samoyed. It's a gorgeous dog breed. They're also hypoallergenic, I think, as well.
Oh, nice. That
One
means
of the best dog breeds to have. That is an absolute... Look at the big eyes.
Oh, here we go again.
the heart's melting. Kitty, I think it's a dumb question, but you a cat or a dog person?
I love both, but I love cats and dogs are cute, If I were to get a dog, I would get this breed. I don't know how you pronounce the words, but my friend has this, the same breed as his dog, and she has to brush them, and I think she gets like an entire flute, like it's the same size as the dog. This dog is pretty big.
Yeah.
And every day she has to brush them or something because their fur is just so...
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes a day
Yeah,
minimum
yeah.
of brushing. There's a lot going
High
on.
maintenance
Just
dog.
make pillows out of them, Free pillows for everyone. Well, Kitty, fortunately, I got a cat for you. Cadence Hugo. Let's do some cat ratings. Go.
I really like grey cats. I don't know why. I just love grey cats. And you got the little tiger spike. It's really cute. And you got a little pink nose. It was more like a brownish pink nose, but I really like the nose as well. But
Okay.
yeah, I've seen this cat so many times because I do follow Cadence on Twitter, so it's really cute seeing Bobo all the time.
Very cool. Now we got two more quick ones to have a look at. Skimmy, I'm going to say the first word that comes to your mind.
Oh, big bull dog.
Ah, beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful.
Get that Snapchat filter back on his face because, it's the dog or is it the dog?
It's the
It's so good.
Anyway, let's move on to the last one. Jumping on in. I'm sure Bulldog's going to enjoy that one. Now, Black Nico with another kitty. Look at those teeth. They're rusty. Rusty, if you did have to like cats, would you like this one?
I've owned a lot of cats, actually, in my life. All of them have been black cats. So, there you go.
There you go.
I think there's my natural preference.
It looks like a little comfortable kitty, doesn't he? I feel like I'd love to pat that one. Maybe not let it bite my hand. Could get a couple more holes in my arms. Either way, that is that from the fans. We're going to get through an ad break before we jump on into the next bloody game. But make sure, if you want to talk to us during the ad break, !Discord, join the Discord and you can be a part of all the fun. Giveaways. I think there's actually a channel for more pet pictures as well. So go drop all the pictures that didn't make it to the broadcast in there, and everyone can go, oh my god, look at that little doggo, and stuff like that, and you'll feel like you've got a sick dog. Now, make sure you join the community, but look, we got a second game to get to, and it's going to be a spicy damn affair. It's Mammoth, it's Gravitas, it's kind of a battle of the bottom of the table at the moment, and either could come out on top. Let's find out who wins after the break.
You've got Zoranus just sitting there, the 7-foot shack just making your life a nightmare. You got to engage.
No. Balcon's going in. 20 seconds left on the Baron. The turret goes down. Beautiful trap there by the Victor. That's absolutely huge. They've taken down 2, and most importantly, they've removed the rise. Shinky dead. There's no protection now for their center. Burn the flash as the horse goes in. Giddy up, because PG are on a ride to victory.